Hello, everybody. How's it going? I know it's been a while, but we are back with another NBA basketball YouTube video. And as you all know, the draft lottery is officially over. We know who will be picking in what spot. And so I thought there'd be no better time than right now to do a post draft lottery NBA mock draft. Uh, this will be my second to last mock draft before the actual NBA draft. I think in about a month, by the end of June, I'll post my final full first round mock draft. Could be both rounds. I'll see what I want to do. But for now, in this mock draft video, I'm just going to be doing the lottery because that's the only thing that kind of shaked up a little bit. So this video is just going to be a mock draft of the first 14 picks, just the lottery. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. The Magic, as you hopefully all know, won the lottery and will be selecting with the first overall pick, which gives them an immense amount of pressure, right? There are three candidates for the first round pick, for the first overall pick, uh, that seem like the top prospect, but it's very hard to choose which is actually the best. For me, though, I think I like to narrow it down between Chet Holmgren and Jabari Smith. I think they're on a little bit of a higher level, in my opinion, than Paulo Banchero is, given the both of them are much better defensively than Banchero is. Um, and with the Magic picking here, I just like Smith a little bit more than Holmgren. I think Smith, for one, fits into Orlando a little bit better, given that Orlando already has Wendell Carter Jr. and Mo Bamba is a unrestricted free agent, but he could sign back with the Magic. I think Smith is a more elite scorer, and I think that's the type of uh, that's kind of what Orlando is looking for here. Elite scorer that could be their number one option going into the future. And I think Jabari Smith is that guy. He's also an incredible. He is also very talented on the defensive side. He's very athletic. I think really there's no wrong pick here at number one, but I just like Smith. Next, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder picking number two. I think Chet is the best player available. So I think you go with Chet. I think this fits very well for the Thunder. They have horrible big men, as you can see here: Mike Muscala, Poku Jemiah Robinson Earl, Isaiah Roby, Darius Baisley. Not the best big man core to going forward. And I think getting probably the best defensive player in the draft, or if not one of the best defensive players in the draft, Chet Holmgren. He's incredible. Thunder would love to have him. And third overall here, I think this is an easy pick. I think you go with Banchero. A lot of Ivy fans think that he might go as high as three. I don't think that will happen. I don't think he's as good as Banchero is. And also, given that the Rockets have a set backcourt for the future and Kevin Porter and Jalen Green, in my opinion, I think you go with Paulo Banchero here. And next at four, most of you would expect me to have the Kings taking Ivy, but I don't know why, but I am not on the Ivy train. I don't think he is as good as people say he is. I don't think he will be as good as people think he will be. And I think the Kings will go with a very safe pick here, and a player that has the skill sets that they really need if they want to make a playoff push next year, which they definitely do. I think that's AJ Griffin. I think this might be the best 3-and-D player in the entire draft. I think both 3-point shooting and defense is something the Kings desperately need. I think he fits into the rotation perfectly. I don't think he's much worse than Ivy is. I think Ivy is a little better, but I don't think he's so much better where you take him over AJ Griffin in this scenario when you desperately need a player with Griffin's skill set. And next at number five, I don't like Ivy all that much, but I do think that he's definitely a top five pick. He's definitely the best player available currently, given the rest of the talent here. I think him next to Cade Cunningham on the Pistons would be absolutely deadly. And I think the Pistons have to go Ivy here. Next, we have the Pacers at six. This is a team that could really use some big man, given that Miles Turner could be on the trade market, and their power forward they basically don't have a power forward. So I think Keegan Murray is the easy pick here. He's a phenomenal scorer. He has high upside on the defensive side of the ball. He has high upside in his potential to create his own shot. We've already seen that a bit from him in Iowa. I think he is a phenomenal player. He'll be an elite scorer at the NBA level. Next, with the seventh pick, I have the Portland Trailblazers selecting Jalen Duren out of Memphis. They have Yusuf Nurkic, who is a unrestricted free agent, and I don't know if they're going to want to bring him back, given that he is incapable of staying healthy. Yes, there are a lot of rumors with DeAndre Ayton potentially signing with the Blazers, and if they do want to sign Ayton, drafting a guy like Duren would practically make no sense. But there is no guarantees in free agency. We have no idea what Ayton will want to do, so you got to play it safe and you got to take Duren. All right. Next up with the eighth pick, we have the New Orleans Pelicans drafting via the Lakers because of the Anthony Davis trade from a few years ago. Horrible trade looking like for the Lakers as they've only gotten one championship out of it. Ingram is looking like a star. Lonzo's doing his thing in Chicago, but that's besides the point. Let's get back to the actual point. Who will I think the Pelicans should take? Well, the Pelicans have practically no holes in their lineup, right? You have Zion coming back next year. You have McCollum, Ingram, Zion, Valanciunas, Herbert Jones has looked great this rookie year. Trey Murphy still has a long way to go, but he has a lot of potential. But at the end of the day, guards are still something I think the Pelicans should look for. Shaedon Sharpe is on the board. He's a fantastic wing player. Obviously, we haven't seen him play any college basketball, which is a little bit scary. But the Pelicans really have nothing to lose here with this pick because they are so talented already. And Shaedon Sharpe, with the upside he has with the Pelicans, not really have anything to lose here. They go with the best player available in Shaedon Sharpe. With the ninth pick, we have the San Antonio Spurs. This is a team that is filled with guards and wings with DeJounte Murray, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, who I think is poised for a breakout season next year. They have Lonnie Walker, Josh Richardson. You could see it here. They have a lot of guards, but not a lot of big men. Jakob Poeltl is a free agent this year, but most likely will sign back to the Spurs. I mean, he is fantastic, one of the best defensive centers in the league. But as you can see, a major hole on this team is the power forward position, and really it's just overall size. But a player that I think a lot of people are forgetting about is Jeremy Sochan out of Baylor. He is a 6'10", long power forward. He could play the small ball center if you want. He can guard 1 through 5 defensively. He has high potential on the offensive side. All right. He has a lot of potential in passing and his passing ability. He can finish at the rim well. He has a lot of potential with his shooting. I think he's a very high upside player. But at his floor, I think he is a phenomenal defensive player. And at his peak, I think he is a phenomenal two-way player. Next here, we have the Wizards with the 10th pick. Team desperately needs a point guard. And why not take the best point guard available in the entire draft? Dyson Daniels from G League Ignite. He's a tall point guard. He's going to get a lot of Josh Giddey comparisons just due to how tall he is playing the point guard position. But he does have a long way to go with his shooting, but everything else is just very, very elite. And so I think this is a perfect player for the Wizards. Next, we have my New York Knicks. And with Bennedict Mathurin and Johnny Davis still on the board, these are two players that have been mocked to the Knicks a lot. But I do not think the Knicks should take either of these guys if a guy like Ousmane Dieng is available. And I'll tell you why. Ousmane Dieng is much better defensively than both of these guys are, something the Knicks definitely need to improve after letting go so many talented defenders in last free agency. He is a long 6'10" player. He can hit shots. He's a phenomenal defender due to his length. He can dribble well in the open court. He can pass well. Just something he has to improve on definitely is his physicality and get a little bit stronger, as he's only about 210 pounds, standing at 6'10". He has insane potential defensively and offensively. I think that makes him a better pick over guys like Mathurin or Davis. Next at 12, I think the Thunder go. They would love another forward here, but there's really no great forwards available. Next guy that comes to mind is Tari Eason, but that's definitely too much of a stretch here at number 12. So I think they go best player available, and to me, that's Bennedict Mathurin. There's a good argument for Davis being the better player over Mathurin, but I like Mathurin more. I think he is a better shooter. He is more, and I think he is more fit for the NBA than Davis is. Next at 13, this is probably the most common pick I've seen out of every mock draft that almost everybody agrees on. It's the Hornets taking Mark Williams. They desperately need the center position. They desperately need somebody big at that center position. They just need size overall on this team, given that they have a lot of small players playing at the small forward position and power forward position. So they definitely go with just the biggest guy available right now, and that's Mark Williams. And finally, to round out this video, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers selecting at number 14. I think they go Johnny Davis. I think he's arguably the best player available. I think there's a good argument for Davis or Malachi Branham being the best player here. I think Malachi Branham definitely fits in well with Cleveland, but Johnny Davis's ability to create his own shot and really lead an offense is something Cleveland would love to have off their second unit, and Davis would be an elite guy to have coming off your bench. So that does it for my post-lottery mock draft. Tell me what you guys disagree with. Tell me if there's players that you think I have getting drafted too high or too low. Guys that I don't even have getting drafted in the lottery that should be getting drafted in the lottery. Just tell me what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to read what you guys have to say. But as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you're here next time.